RVs are always coming out with new technology, and sometimes it's actually better. Sometimes it's just a rebrand, and sometimes it's just plain dumb. I've been going undercover to review RVs, and in today's video, I'm going to talk about 3 new things that I've been seeing on 25 and 26 model RVs. If you're new here, my name is Jacob. I'm an RV technician, and I have a bunch of free resources for you on my website, including my 10-step guide to avoiding buying a lemon RV. Keep in mind, these are brand new technologies. I'm going to give you my thoughts, my predictions based on my experience as an RV tech, but really only time will tell the true quality of them. First up, a big new thing that I've been seeing is a new suspension from Curt, which is owned by Lippert, called their TCS suspension. Curt TCS is interesting because it's not really an independent suspension setup. It's more of a independent axle setup. Each axle suspension is completely separate from any other axles on the RV. This is more like a torsion axle setup. Curt TCS, instead of using a torsion rubber bar for suspension, it uses a standard coil spring. One thing I really like about TCS is that a standard part of the suspension is it comes with shock absorbers. It blows my mind that most towable RVs do not come with shock absorbers, leaving your RV to bounce along the highway behind you and bounce all of your stuff out of the cabinets. My only concern is that it actually concentrates all of the left to right force that the axle experiences onto 2 attachment points, whereas with leaf spring suspension, the same force left and right is transferred to 4 attachment points per axle. The Curt TCS suspension system does have lateral supports welded in from left to right to support the tubes that this hinge system is attached to the bottom of the frame with. The biggest question I have is, are the brackets that actually hold the pivots for the trailing arms beefy enough to resist that left to right movement? The concern I have is that with the same force concentrated onto 2 attachment points instead of 4, is that this setup may be more likely to crack around the frame attachment points than standard leaf spring or torsion axles. These kinds of stress cracks on the frame attachment points are a big problem for heavier RVs, especially that get a lot of miles on them. I'm in contact with someone who has been hauling their new RV with the Curt TCS coast to coast, and I'm hoping to be able to inspect this up close and in person soon to see if there are issues with cracks. I'm going to be cautious on this one. I really love the quadruple shock absorbers, but I'm really concerned about frame cracking. Second piece of new technology I want to talk about in this video would be a slide system from Lippert, SureSlide. I call this their Schwintek Apology slide out system. If you don't know, Lippert bought a company called Schwintek that designed a slide system. Schwintek has a very well-deserved reputation for being a pretty bad slide system, to the extent that Thor on their RVs that use Schwintek started branding a special type of Schwintek with 3 racks, or 3 tracks slide system in an attempt to get away from the bad Schwintek name brand. While SureSlide is technically different from Schwintek a little bit, I think it's honestly just a way of rebranding essentially the same type of slide system, and I do not have high hopes for this. My prediction is that SureSlide is going to break just as much as Schwintek. Some people say you should just never buy an RV with a slide out, and I don't think that's true. I think there are quality slide out mechanisms. If you're shopping RVs and want to avoid buying a lemon or buying an RV that has a very badly designed slide out, this is where my RV shopping course can really help you. My course covers all the major systems in an RV, and trust me, by the time you finish this course, you will know more than any RV salesman out there about RVs. Right now, I'm in process of updating the course to include newer technologies, including this Lippert SureSlide system. If you've been wanting to get the course but haven't yet, now's the time, because I will be raising the price when I finish that update. Third and final technology I want to talk about today would be thermofoil cabinet face frames. Most RV cabinets are built with a wood composite material and not solid wood. One example of that would be MDF. MDF is essentially very thick cardboard. They stack a bunch of wood fibers with glue and squeeze it together. The problem with MDF is it's very prone to water damage, so manufacturers try to protect it by putting a vinyl wrap around the outside. The problem is where they cut the ends of these boards and stack them together, there's seams in the vinyl wrap that will still soak up water. The interesting thing about this thermofoil process is that because they build the face frame and then they put a solid vinyl sheet over top and it's heated up and vacuum conformed to the face frame, there's no seams in between boards for water to get in. It's actually going to be slightly more resistant to water damage than just a vinyl wrapped board with the seams in between all the boards. While it's still complete junk underneath the thermofoil, it actually does a little bit better job of protecting against water damage. Comment below with what other new technologies you've been seeing on RVs. Click here if you want to watch me go undercover to review RVs for quality, or click here to see a video about my new 10-step process for avoiding lemon RVs.